Hey there, it's Zain, a psychologist and relationship consultant. Today, we're diving into something deeply personal and important: how our childhoods shape the people we become. It's no secret that the experiences we have as kids leave a lasting imprint. But when you grow up in an unhappy home, the impact can be more subtle and more powerful than you might realize. Often, it shows up in the way we move through the world, how we relate to others, and how we see ourselves. This video isn't about blaming or shaming. It's about understanding. It's about healing. And it's about recognizing that many of the ways we behave as adults are NT flaws. They're readaptations. They're survival tactics we picked up to get through tough times. So let us take a closer look at 8 common behaviors that adults from unhappy homes often exhibit and why these behaviors deserve compassion, not judgment. Hypervigilance. Growing up in chaos means you're constantly scanning the environment, anticipating what could go wrong next. That alertness doesn't always turn off just because you've left that environment behind. As adults, hypervigilance can look like always being on edge, noticing every change in tone, every raised eyebrow, every creaking floorboard. You may find yourself constantly reading the room or feeling tense in situations others find perfectly normal. This isn't paranoia, it's a protective mechanism. You've learned to survive by anticipating danger. But now that you're older, it can be exhausting and even isolating. Recognizing this tendency is the first step in retraining your nervous system to feel safe again. 2. Difficulty trusting others when love came with conditions. Or when promises were often broken, trust became a luxury you couldn't afford. So you learned to keep your guard up. You watched what you said. You prepared for disappointment. Even as an adult, you might second-guess others' motives or struggle to believe someone genuinely cares. You may find yourself testing people or withdrawing just when things start to feel good. But trust isn't about being naive, it's about giving yourself the chance to experience connection. Healing doesn't mean blindly trusting everyone. It means learning to trust yourself enough to know you'll handle it if someone lets you down. 3. Overachievement. For many, success became a way to earn love. You got good grades, took on too much, pushed yourself relentlessly, all because your worth felt tied to your performance. Now as an adult, you might chase achievements like trophies, hoping they'll finally fill that void. Promotions, accolades, constant productivity. None of it feels like enough. It's okay to want to succeed, but you're not just a resume or a list of wins. Your value isn't in what you do, it's in who you are. And that person deserves rest, joy, and love, even when they're not achieving anything. 4. Difficulty expressing emotions. In some homes, emotions were ignored. In others, they were used as weapons. You learned to bottle things up, to keep your feelings to yourself, to be strong by pretending nothing ever hurt you. But emotions don't disappear just because you hide them. They build up. They leak out in ways you don't expect. Anxiety, withdrawal. Learning to name your emotions, sit with them, and share them with people who care. It's hard. But it's also the foundation of deeper, more meaningful relationships. 5. Craving stability. When everything was unpredictable as a child, you learned to crave order. You may now find comfort in routines, predictability, and control because they feel safe. There's nothing wrong with wanting stability. In fact, it's a beautiful thing to build a life where you feel secure. Just be mindful of when the need for control turns into rigidity or fear of change. Stability is meant to support you, not box you in. 6. Fear of abandonment. If the people who were supposed to love you the most left emotionally or physically, you may now carry a deep, persistent fear of being abandoned. That fear might show up as clinginess, or it might show up as pushing people away before they can hurt you. It's not irrational, it's what you learned. But it doesn't have to define you. With time, therapy, and self-compassion, you can rewrite those narratives and build relationships rooted in trust, not fear. 7. Defensive behavior. When your feelings were constantly invalidated, or you were made to feel like everything was your fault, defensiveness became second nature. You may now find yourself explaining, justifying, or shutting down when someone gives you feedback. Not because you don't care, but because you're protecting yourself from pain. But vulnerability isn't weakness. Being open to feedback is a strength. You're allowed to listen without losing your worth. You're allowed to set boundaries while still staying present. 8. Resilience. Now here's the flip side, because this matters just as much. If you grew up in an unhappy home and you're still here, still trying, still loving, learning, and growing, that's resilience. You've adapted. You've endured. You've become resourceful, empathetic, strong, and self-aware in ways many people will never understand. That doesn't erase the pain, but it does highlight your power. So, if any of these behaviors resonated with you, know this. It's not a weakness. It's not a flaw. It's evidence of strength, of survival, of your incredible ability to adapt in the face of hardship. You didn't choose the environment you grew up in, but you do have the power to choose how you heal, how you grow, and how you move forward. I want you to remember, you're not alone in this journey. I'm Zain, and here on STR TV, we're building a space for real conversations, healing, and personal growth. If this message touched your heart, please hit that subscribe button on STR TV, drop a like, and share this with someone who might need it. Together, we're not just surviving, we're transforming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.